Hello, today we'd like to talk about the Yaesu FT-270 2-meter monoband handy talkie. This is a nice durable rig that puts out up to 5 watts, and so let's get right to it. You notice right here on the top we have an SMA connector that hooks up to their standard rubber duck antenna, and rubber ducks don't radiate that well, so sometimes I'll take this little diamond adapter and screw that on. And I do this because I have several B and C type antennas. So we'll just screw that on there, and then now I can put on, say, this guy here. You get the idea. And that extends out for much better radiation. Also, what a lot of people do is they'll make about a 19¼ inch whip and strap that around the outer conductor there, and then put their antenna on over that. And sometimes you have to, if you're going to do that, you might have to use or remove this little waterproof thing here so you can get both of them on there. And that so-called tiger tail will greatly, in some cases, increase your reception and range, because it acts as a really, well, basically acts as a dipole instead of just, you know, the way it's set up here. So that's where the antenna goes in. This little button here can be removed, unscrewed, and you can connect in, say, programming software. If you want to use like the RT software, you just plug in this tip ring sleeve connector into that area there, and then of course the USB-A connector goes into your computer. Also, if you have a speaker mic, you can screw that in there, and then let's say you have one of those nifty stands, you can put this on your desk and have the radio just planted right there, and then you can just pull out the speaker mic when you want to talk into the radio. Let's see here. On the right is where we turn on the radio, top upper right. You'll see the starting voltage there. Looks like that battery's about shot. Below here, that's where we select either channels or memory channels or VFO. And then on the right we have a power connector, so if you want to recharge your battery, that's where you connect that. I don't like to run that way myself. In fact, what I do is I usually just toss this let's see, 1400 milliampere hour battery. I'm done with that. And what I'll do is run with my own rechargeable battery, so I'll buy their little battery case there. And now instead of having 1400 milliampere hours, I've got like 2500 or something like that. So I'll screw that on, and now we'll start that back up. Yeah, that's a better voltage there. So there we go. Also, if you want to, you can run it. I could take the batteries out of the battery pack and then just plug in something like a regular battery here and just come in via the recharger port, and I could, you know, talk till the cows come home that way, especially if I'm using low power. So, but you want to make sure you remove the batteries if you do that, because there's no power regulation going into that. It's not as if you had your rechargeable battery hooked up. Okay, one of the main things about this rig is know where the microphone is. The microphone is right where that finger points, right there, and you want to get it nice and close for good, strong audio. Closer than you might expect to be. All right, now let's get to the front panel here. Well, first of all, on the left side, of course, we have the push to talk and the monitor button, and so that's how that works. Now, if we hit this colored button, that's the lower right one, that's the function button. If we tap that, then all these buttons here will do whatever's labeled on top of it. For example, if we hit the function button and then immediately after hit the number 1 button, that's the tone button. So we can select where we transmit tone or where we transmit and have to receive tone. Let me get the radio here where you can see it. Reverse tone, digital code, squelch, that kind of thing. So let's say we want to run tone. So I select that, hit the mic button, and that locks it in. Let's see, how about number 2? We'll hit function and 2, and that's which tone we're going to send out. So we can select all our various tones there, okay? Now let's go to, say, number 3. So function plus 3, that's our power level. So we can go high, which is 5 watts, mid, which is 2 watts, and low, which is 1/2 watt. So a lot of useful shortcuts here on the front panel. Now, if we really want to get into the settings, what we do is we hit function plus 0, and now we have a whole alphabetical menu. So we start with APO, that's like your sleep timer on your TV. And if we hit, let's see, hit function again. So here we have, the radio will turn itself off after an hour, or in this case, an hour and a half. Let's see, it'll go clear up to 12 hours, or you can just have it off, okay? So that's how that works. Now, this all is off, I can't talk. It's all alphabetical, so you'll see all these menu items start with the A's, B's, C's, D's, and so on and so forth. So and there's like 51 of them. So if you can't sleep at night sometime, you can play with all these settings. For example, I hate beeps. So I'll go into beep, and then I'll turn that off. That's just the way I like it. And on almost all things, when you're in the menu, you can just hit that push to talk. It'll take you out to the menu and go back to your standard operating mode, with the exception of tone. If you're selecting a tone, let's try that. Let's go to, let's see, function, set, and let's go clear over here to, let's see, tone. Tone freak, okay? And let's say we want to select 100. If I just hit the push to talk, it's not going to go back out. Probably because maybe you're trying to unlock a repeater. You don't know what tone it's using. So we tried 100. That didn't work. So let's try 103.5. See, if I hit the push to talk and it just took me out of that, zinged me right out of the menu, that wouldn't work so well. So that's the one exception. Almost everything else, you can just hit the push to talk and it'll take you back to operating mode. So in this case, we're going to back out, and now I can hit the push to talk, and we're good. So one nice feature on this is it does have weather radio. If you hold down the number 1 button, not just tap it, but actually press it, and then we can have our weather channels. And then you can select which weather channel you want with either the concentric knob up here or the arrows down here. So a lot of things, like say if you're changing channels, you can do it either with the arrows or with that concentric knob up there. Okay, I hope that helps you. One thing we should say, let's push this and get out of weather mode here. We'll just hold that down. Now we're back into ham radio land. There are 2 main modes here. You could be in memory mode if you hit the lower left button. In fact, that shows up. That's for later than the video. Let's go here. Let's start with the basic here. Vfo mode. If I hit Vfo mode, it shows you we're in Vfo A. You'll see that A up there. There's actually 2 VFOs. If you hit VFO again, you're in VFO B. So you could have 1 frequency in A and 1 frequency in B. Also, you can direct enter them. Let's say we want to go to 147. Oh, I didn't dial too good, did I? Let's see here. Let's just zero it out here. 14750. You're right there. That's cool. Now, if we want to go to memory mode, hit the lower left button, and now we're in memory mode, and we can use that concentric knob again, or we can use these arrows and go to whatever channel that we want. The channel number's in the upper left there. Okay, now you might notice that there's a little blinking thing down here called save. What happens is this receiver goes into kind of a micro sleep, and it pulls every so many milliseconds to see if there's anything going on. This way it really helps make the battery last a lot longer. And you can actually set that in your menus. You want it just to see if anything's happening on every, we'll say every second or so, or if you want it to operate more often than that, you can do that. You'll just use a little bit more battery power. Okay, so now one interesting thing, if we're in memory mode and we hit it again, it'll be memory offset tuning. So we can depart from that particular memory frequency and now manually tune away from it. So that's just kind of a neat thing. One other thing, if you see that upper right signal there, it looks like an atomic thing, that means you're in the wiries mode, and that's for internet connection. And so to get away from that, you just hit the 0 key right here. So notice if I just hit that, it comes on, and if I hit it again, it goes off. And you'll notice that because if it's on and you're not aware of it, if you push your press to dock, there might be a little delay and it'll put out a little tone. And you're wondering, God, what's that? Well, that's what it is. So anyways, we're going to go back to VFO mode here. And let's see, I guess I'm going to have to get back into full memory mode by hitting that first. Now I can go to VFO mode, VFO A or VFO B. Okay, I hope that helps. Remember to snuggle up closely to that microphone button, and I think you'll have this radio down. Good luck.